What's up, everybody? It's Damien. I just figured I'd do your guys' a video, man. It's been a day or so. Since I really did one. And I've been thinking a lot about imaginations, and I think that I really need to try to express to you guys how harmful your imagination can be. I know in most terms you think of imagination, you think of a child who, always got a great imagination or a big imagination, and it can be a good thing, believe me, because what you believe you can achieve, but at the same time, that's also a problem. Paul I think said it best. He said the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty in God for the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. When I walk through Walmart, I have thoughts that hit my head. Because Walmart is filled with it, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. You already know. You know what it is, man. Walmart, they're in there wearing nothing, man. Like next to nothing. And, the human mind, my mind immediately goes to a place that it shouldn't go. But it's at that point that I have to learn to catch those thoughts and say, whoa, hold on a second, man. Don't objectify her that way. Don't look at her as a sex symbol or something of that nature. I've got to correct myself from that thinking. And it fixes it before long, that it stops happening. Whenever you catch yourself cursing, when you're aware of the words that are coming out of your mouth, and you begin to catch yourself when you do stuff, then and only then can you stop it. But the imagination, man, it's rough because, we will begin to imagine ourselves doing something. It's just like if you wanted to be a doctor, you would imaginatively put yourself in the place of a doctor. You would take the role of a doctor. It's called simple role taking. You would begin to think like a doctor, talk like a doctor, act like a doctor. In your imagination, you would imagine yourself doing things that doctors did. But it goes the same way, man. That's why when you're pouring music into your mind that says sex, 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 drugs, 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 party, 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 well, you're pouring that into your mind, so your mind begins to imagine that with you as the star in your own little movie that you're playing inside of your mind. Now, the imagination is so powerful that it's even the reason why God, is the primary reason that God flooded the earth. In Genesis 6:5, he said, and God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thought of his heart was only evil continually, and it grieved the Lord that he had placed man upon the earth. So, while what they were doing was terrible, but what they were doing was a side product or a byproduct of the imaginations that they had. They had already exalted themselves up. I should have this and I should have that, the same way that we do in our microwave society, man. We exalt ourselves way up here. I should be this, I should be that. We live in a world that's taught us to consume. Consumption is, man, Americans are consumers. All we do is consume. We have a one button click away from whatever we want, man, and we want it now, and that's just how we live, man. Like J.G. Wentworth, man. It's mine and I want it now. Sadly, we don't have to wait on anything anymore. And I know it seems like a great thing, but really, is it? We don't have any patience at all. This is why people are killing each other on the road because of road rage, because there's no patience. It's such a rush, man. You ever seen the guy who leaves one red light, he stomps the gas and boom, he flies over there, man, and just got to stop at the next red light. You pull right up on him because he's got to wait. What's the point? What's the point in always being in such a hurry? But our problem is that, we have always been evil imaginers, man. Our imagination's always been evil, especially those of us who are alcoholics and drug addicts, In Genesis 8:21, God said, I will not again curse the ground anymore for man's sake. For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more of every living thing as I have already done. That's the thing, as we grow up, man, we adapt to the attitudes of those that are around us. And let's face it, man, most of the people that we grew up around or grow up around or see around us, especially when you deal with the music and the videos and the movies and stuff that are on, it leads children in the wrong way. And they begin to imaginatively put themselves in what they feel is an adult's place. And what we've done is we've reduced manhood from what it used to be, which was being a responsible adult, an example to his children, a person who was actually out there doing what needed to be done to make to make sure that the family survived. We reduced that to childlike behaviors, like when you could drink beer or smoke cigarettes or have sex. That does not make you a man. It doesn't. It doesn't make us a man. And that's what we've reduced manhood to. Manhood is responsibility, is dealing with responsibility, is doing the right thing, man, even whenever no one's looking. As us as alcoholics and drug addicts, man, Deuteronomy 29:19 says, I shall have peace, though I walk in the imagination of mine heart and add drunkenness to my thirst. I walk in the imagination of my heart and add drunkenness to my thirst. I want you to think about that. He said, I will have peace, even though. But the thing is that we don't have peace when we do that. We walk in the imagination of our heart, and we imagine ourselves on such a grand scale that, this great, great thing. And in reality is, we should be comfortable with what we have. I mean, I'm not saying not to be ambitious, but I'm saying not to set yourself up for failure. Every child in America is not going to be a rap star or a basketball player or a football star in the NFL. It's not going to happen. You're going to set yourself up to fall, and then if you don't have anything to fall back on, man, you're stuck out in the streets. Just another statistic. That's why we're statistic after statistic after statistic. It falls from fatherless homes, children who don't have daddies in there who are really teaching them how to live and how to be responsible, and they're chasing these pipe dreams because in America we're taught that these are, the way to go. You're shown this as sex and money and cars and all this stuff, man, and it's, for the have-nots, I guess you would say. We want to be the have-nots, yet we want to have everything. So we put ourselves in a spot where we live a hedonistic lifestyle, where the greater pleasure is our greater good, when truly it's not. I lose myself in this stuff sometimes, man, and I'm sorry if I begin to ramble a little bit. But the fact of the matter is, man, our children need to see us growing. When they're growing up, they need to see us working, man. We need to take them with us when we go to work. I have a friend named David Whitaker, as a matter of fact, and he brings his son with him everywhere he can. And when he goes to work on air conditioners, man, he brings his son with him. So his son, is actively involved in seeing him do work. He's learning from his father how to work, how to turn a wrench, man, how to provide for the family, So it's not just an abstract thought to him, and he actually knows what's going on. And that's a great thing, man. I mean, we don't have anywhere near enough of that anymore, man. That's why we're falling apart. Our society says have sex and kill the baby. I mean, it's crazy, it's sick. And you've got to really ask yourself where you stand on this stuff, man. You really do. You really do, man. Because it's really, really, really getting to a place that's pretty bad, man. It's pretty bad. And I don't want to say I'm not afraid of this stuff, but this stuff is crazy. And we're going to come to a point, man, where you're going to have to draw a line and figure out what side you're on. You really are. You really are. I mean, we got guys who want to go into the bathroom with your little girl, man. They can just decide what gender they're going to be today. I've never seen anything like it. It's mind-blowing, just to say the least, and we live in such an offended society that everyone is so offended by everything. Oh my God, they're so offended. Cry, 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 whine, man. It's sickening. It really is, man. But what we do is that as we grow, man, we begin to apprehend, internalize, and we appropriate the actions, attitudes, and the overall philosophies of those that we're around. We might take a piece of this guy's philosophy, a piece of that girl's philosophy, and we internalize it. And before you know it, it becomes part of our character, and we begin to live it out. You'll take roles as to who you want to be and what you want to be. So if you're loving Kevin Gates and, bang, I'm slanging dope and I'm doing this and doing that, there's a good chance you're going to begin to take that role. You're going to wear clothes like them. You're going to start to talk like them. You're going to start to fall into that trap. Before you know it, man, you'll be like me, riding around with a whole bunch of dope and a whole bunch of police behind you when you're a 3-time convicted felon, man. Don't fall victim to the trap. Look, I absolutely love you guys, man. For real. I appreciate all the support I'm getting, and it's been quite a bit. I want to encourage you guys, man, to please come and And subscribe, man. Subscribe. Please, by all means, come over there to my YouTube channel. Subscribe. It's going to be some good stuff, man. I want to really get some interviews going and going out and meeting some people and talking to some people. I was actually going to do that this weekend, but some things happened and I ended up having to stay back here at the office. I was needed here. I had to take care of a lot of stuff that, hadn't been taken care of or whatever the case may be. But anyway, I love you guys, man. I just want y'all to know that your imagination and your thoughts, man, are the main thing that you really have to begin to deal with, man. Pay attention to what you're thinking. Pay attention to things that are coming out of your mouth. Catch yourself when when you're doing something. Pay attention to what you're doing and catch yourself when you're doing something. Bang, bang. Snap to it. Realize it, man. Recognize the lie. Remove the lie from the equation and replace the lie with the truth. Anyway, I love you guys, man. That's it. Team Sober, man. All day long, all day strong. I love you guys. Y'all have a great day. And God bless you.